Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Finally, we have some big, good, positive news to talk about for TSM. Let's go. Finally, we've been waiting for good news for so long, and I'm really excited to talk about it. Obviously, for most of the LCS teams, TSM included, over the last couple of weeks, it's just been bad news after bad news after bad news, but another piece of good news, not necessarily what we're going to be talking about in this video, is that lock-in starts. You know, LEC's here, lock-in's here, LCS started the spring split's a couple weeks away. We should be past all the bad news and onwards and upwards to good news, positive stories, except for the teams that maybe suck or start playing bad or whatever. Maybe that'll be TSM, maybe not, who knows, but we do have some positive news to talk about today. I wanted to give you guys a quick update on me. I know I've talked about it a little bit on Twitter and videos and stuff. I've been sick for the past couple of weeks. Pretty crazy because it actually started January 1st. Today's January 13th. So we're going on 13 straight days of me like being sick, some days feeling better, worse, whatever. But I tested negative for COVID like 4 or 5 times over the past 2 weeks. I've been getting tested. I've been doing everything I can. Woke up on the 12th. Felt worse than ever before, but felt sick in different ways. And I was like, oh, geez, is this something different? Went and got tested today and am now positive for COVID. So I don't know if I got sick with 2 different things back to back, if I'm just sick for 2 going on 3 weeks straight. I don't know, whatever, but am positive for COVID now. So just going to be laying low, obviously, in my bedroom for the next couple days, weeks, whatever. I am pretty sick still, so that sucks, but the show must go on. I'm up, I'm in front of the camera, so if I look different, sound different, if the vibes are off, whatever, at least you guys know what's going on. But my Team Speaks Mandarin shirt came in today, so at least we got some good news going on there. With that being said, let's get right into this. So a little bit of backstory, context of what's going on. Obviously, we have heard previously that Kaido and Shenny, TSM's 2 new Chinese players from the LDL, were having some visa issues, as well as a lot of other players in the LCS. You know, this issue is, it's not just TSM, it's not TSM's fault, it's COVID related, it's travel related, it's international governments related, it's the United States government related. It's all these different issues for visa delays and everything, and just understanding that the League of Legends off-season timeline is very short, you know, having to sign people in like late November, early December or whatever, and then starting the season in mid-January, and just kind of understanding that this is all a really tight thing. And then obviously TSM was one of the last teams to even sign their players, sign their roster, sign their whole lineup or whatever. So really weird thing. And then obviously TSM had a couple of options once they knew their players weren't going to be here for the start of lock-in. They could have played with subs in the lock-in tournament, had a part Academy, part LCS team, because there is still Huni, Spica, and Tactical that are obviously in the United States, able to play whenever. They could have did the full Academy lineup, or they could have played the Academy lineup and then played the full LCS lineup once Shenny and Kaido actually got here. Obviously, TSM decided to just go with the full Academy lineup the whole entire time. And yeah, so obviously some people were critical about that. Some people liked that move. Whatever, however you felt. Today, that gets us to the big news. Little plug for my Twitter account. I tweeted this out, but it's from the TSM Discord. I tweeted out, looks like TSM's Chinese players have their visas and should be ready to go for week 1. I'm assuming the end of them being ready for week 1 is my assumption, but I'm pretty sure. Pogtastic. Here we go. TSM FTX Dunk. Again, I believe it's in the TSM Discord. I don't know. But he did say, Shenny and Kaido visas have been approved. Pog you. That is great to hear. And then we also had Shenny. I forgot to pull this tweet up, but we did have Shenny who tweeted out a GIF. I think it was like SpongeBob, or I guess it was just a picture, but he said, I'm ready. And then TSM FTX obviously said, see you in LA soon. And then see you in LA, and he says see you. So this is very good and exciting news, because yes, it sucks that these players were going to be late for the lock-in tournament / now missing the lock-in tournament entirely, but there then were some questions and concerns, and maybe still are some questions and concerns for some other teams about whether their full starting lineups are going to be ready to go for week 1 of the spring split. Now, ultimately, some people think it doesn't matter at all. Some people think it doesn't matter that much because spring split doesn't matter, or spring split's dumb or stupid or a waste of time or whatever. But I do still think, even though the results of spring split don't matter, I still think there is a lot of value to being able to scrim a ton, being able to practice a ton, and just being able to play stage games as a team together. Yes, your results ultimately don't matter, but I think we've seen, many times teams that get off to slow starts in spring, or teams that don't have their full lineups for the whole year or whatever, can kind of have some issues. Now, there are teams that come into the summer with full different lineups. Just last season, 100 Thieves picked up Abadage between spring and summer, and then they go on to win a title. So it doesn't always matter, but I think especially with, kind of younger, inexperienced teams with a ton of moving pieces. You know, 100 Thieves, they were already a really, really strong unit, and they're just replacing one player who was a pretty clear upgrade. TSM, a lot more moving parts, a lot more inexperience, and their players aren't necessarily straight up one-to-one upgrades. You know, Abadage just straight up was better than Ryoma. Is Shenny straight up better than Sword Art? Is Kaido straight up better than Power of Evil? You know, I don't know. I think there's a lot more going on here. Throw in cultural barriers, language barriers, jet lag, all that stuff. But obviously the good news here is that these guys should be ready to go for week 1. They are, it seems like, on their way to Los Angeles right now. I think somebody was saying that they should get here between January 16th and January 19th. I believe that's what somebody said in the TSM Discord as well. So this is obviously very, very good news. Somebody replies to this tweet and said, you know, next video, good news for TSM. And hey, you guys know me too well. Obviously, that's what was coming here. But yeah, I think this is really, really big, exciting news, and I think this is a good sign because it would have really sucked. I already think it sucks a lot that we're not going to see these guys in lock-in, and I still wish that once they got here next week, we could see them for the second and third weeks of lock-in. I don't understand why once TSM's full lineup is here, we're not going to see them. I get that, hey, these guys maybe want some time off or to rest or to shake off their jet lag or just to scrim and stuff, whatever. But everyone knows that the lock-in tournament, you know, doesn't matter. It's just preseason tournament. It's to get ready. Lock-in is a perfect opportunity to knock the rust off, to kind of see what's up, to start practicing. Like, why, if you have this preseason tournament, would you not take advantage of it? I don't understand throwing out the TSM Academy team there. You know, maybe it's good experience for them or whatever, but ultimately, who cares? You should want the best experience for your LCS team. Now, whatever, it is going to be this really, really weird thing where TSM is obviously going to have their full lineup here, and I assume their LCS starters are going to be the ones scrimming against other LCS teams, even though their academy team is going to be playing in lock-in. So I wonder how many good quality LCS scrims the academy team is actually going to be able to get, or if the TSM main team is just going to be taking all of them, whatever. But it does seem like they should have a nice couple of weeks to, again, shake the rust off, get rid of jet lag, get used to the United States, get used to LA, get their quarantine and everything out of the way. And then be ready to go for week 1. I really don't see any reason why they shouldn't be ready to go then. But then the question is, you know, they're obviously going to have less practice. They're going to have been in Los Angeles and in the United States for less long than some of these teams. Obviously, there's other teams having visa issues and stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where TSM starts the season. But again, at the end of the day, it is just spring split. It shouldn't matter too much. I don't think whether they're completely ready to go week 1 or not is ultimately going to decide how this season or how this year goes for TSM or for Kaido or Shenyi, anything like that. But I do still think this is a very, very big year with a lot of pressure and expectations on it, because TSM can say, oh, you know, we're rebuilding, oh, we're going young, we're building for the future, whatever. But just know they have crazy fans that are always going to expect winning, always going to expect going to Worlds, always going to expect being in championship contention, and knowing that this is a contract year for Spica. And if this team does not impress him, if this team does not look like they're in good shape, you know, building towards the future or building towards bigger and brighter things, they could lose Spica as well, and then that, I think, would really be, you know, the straw that breaks the camel's back for TSM's future, because if you lose Spica, then kind of what do you have left? So, you know, there's going to be a lot of pressure and expectations on these new young Chinese players and the whole TSM roster. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how they do. I wish we get to see them sooner than later. It sucks we got to wait a couple more weeks before we actually get to see these guys. But man, I'm so interested and excited to see how these TSM players and this TSM lineup overall does, and I know a lot of other people are as well. So again, good news coming out that it does seem like Shenny and Kaido have their visas. They're on their way to Los Angeles. They'll be ready to go for week 1, and TSM will be at full strength for the start of the LCS Spring Split. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below letting me know what you think about this whole thing. How do you think TSM is going to do in 2022? Are you excited for Shenny, Kaido? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Consider checking out the merch. First link in the description below. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.